149 seconds. That's all it took for 6 masked men to execute Zimbabwe's largest cash heist in history, making off with over $4 million from a cash-in-transit van right outside an Ecobank branch. In broad daylight, on a busy street, and less than a 2-minute drive away from a police station. These apparent professionals operated with surgical precision, while ordinary citizens shopped nearby, and indeed recorded them on mobile phones. What gave them such confidence? The answer lies in what they knew before they arrived, and their international connections that reached far beyond Zimbabwe's borders. 149 seconds. Professionals in their element. Picture a pleasant, sunny afternoon in Bulawayo, Zimbabwe. Positioned just 2 blocks away from Bulawayo Shopping Center, the bank branch at the center of our story sat amongst businesses and shops. A gaming equipment store lay a few buildings over to the north, while a confectionery store across the street to the west. It's here that we begin our story, for amongst the shoppers and city-goers, our subjects, the bank robbers, lie in wait. It's 3:30 p.m., and a vendor at the confectionery store has just sold a single piece of chewing gum worth 1 South African rand to a customer, who promptly looks back, notices the arrival of the cash-in-transit van, and sprints towards it. As the vendor is left stunned, she watches as others emerge from amongst the crowd and begin brandishing AK-47s at the bewildered and under-equipped guards. The private security assigned to the van were at most 4 people armed with 2 pistols and a shotgun. Faced with 6 robbers and AK-47s, they wisely surrendered. In the next 149 seconds, while bystanders like our POV vendor began fleeing or recording on mobile phones, these 6 criminals calmly load crate upon crate of cash into a rendezvousing white pickup truck before speeding off, having taken $4 million in cold, hard cash. A few things probably stuck out to you from that story. 1. The robbers knew a cash-in-transit van was due beforehand. 2. They executed the heist extremely calmly. And 3. That happened quick. Let's start with number 1. Statements by police following the heist indicate likely insider involvement, which is how the criminals likely got the schedule for cash-in-transits. On to 2 and 3, as they can be answered at the same time. These were clearly professionals, and indeed, we already know which ones. These perpetrators were already suspects in a previous heist on a convoy, making off with over 10 kilograms of gold worth $675,000. This entire operation was the work of professionals, working seamlessly and at their best. Unstoppable. The plan. Executed perfectly. How long does it take for you to brew a coffee? 2 minutes? 3? In less time than that, exactly 149 seconds, 6 masked men stole $4.4 million from an Ecobank branch in Zimbabwe. The police confirmed this incredible time frame after analyzing CCTV footage of what would become the country's largest cash heist. The precision begins with their arrival. A white Ford Ranger pulls up to the bank with license plates, just not its own. The first step taken was to steal number plates from someone else's Mazda Daimio and fix those to the getaway car, keeping the vehicle looking ordinary while facilitating its anonymity. The criminals' appearances and attire struck a similar balance of normal yet anonymous. The 6 men wore simple bucket hats and bandanas, not your average uniform, but not sticking out too much either. You might glance curiously, but likely wouldn't automatically raise the alarm. Next, there's the timing. The robbers arrived only a short while before the target van arrived, simply waiting for the perfect moment. That moment being when security guards began loading cash boxes into their transport van, the single most vulnerable point in any cash transfer operation. The money exposed, guards' attention divided between their immediate task and scanning for threats. In this moment of vulnerability, they struck. What followed was a precisely choreographed operation. Each man moved with clear purpose. No confusion, no shouting, no wasted motion. Like clockwork in a high-stakes ballet, some subdued the guards, instructing them to lie on their fronts with AK-47s pointed at their heads, while others grabbed cash boxes. Another managed the escape vehicle, positioned for immediate departure. This division of labor revealed extensive rehearsal and planning. The security footage, and indeed civilian video, reveals something unsettling. Practiced efficiency in every action. No hesitation upon entering, no confusion about roles, no wasted seconds. Every move served one mission: secure the money and exit in the smallest possible time frame. This 149-second operation required meticulous planning, precise role assignment, and execution, suggesting professional training. The timeline was calculated, a team understanding exactly how much time they could spend before police response became a threat. Every second accounted for. The precision raises disturbing questions. The robbers knew exactly when the cache would be most vulnerable, the number of guards present, their positions, the layout, and their exact time window. They even knew which day would yield the highest cache haul. This suggests access to information that shouldn't have been available to outsiders. This robbery required inside information. But that alone wasn't a guarantee of an easy job. The security breakdown. Security systems are built on layers of protection, multiple barriers designed to work together. When one fails, others should compensate. But what happens when every single layer fails simultaneously? The Ecobank heist reveals a security collapse so complete it almost seems engineered. Safeguard Security, one of Zimbabwe's leading security firms, was responsible for protecting the $4.4 million cash transfer. Their reputation in the industry made them a trusted guardian for high-value movements. Yet, on that Thursday afternoon, their defenses crumbled in seconds. The guards were overwhelmed almost immediately, their weapons, 2 pistols and a shotgun, taken from them before they could mount any meaningful resistance. They were outnumbered and heavily outgunned, something that shouldn't have been allowed to happen. But technology failed as completely as the human elements. The bank's surveillance cameras captured the robbery in stark detail, documenting the masked men as they efficiently disarmed the guards and seized the money. But these sophisticated systems merely recorded the crime passively, rather than activating any preventative measures. The cameras became silent witnesses to a security collapse, rather than active components of defense. Remember how we said the police station was less than 2 minutes away? Well, you might also note that the robbery took around that amount of time. If some silent alarm could have been triggered, the police could have been hot on the thieves' heels. However, police arrived on scene only after the criminals had completely vanished, their response too late to matter. Communication systems between security teams, the banks, and authorities broke down at that critical moment. In the crucial minutes following the robbery, while the Ford Ranger with stolen plates was still in the vicinity, no coordinated pursuit materialized. This communication failure gave the robbers the time they needed to disappear into the city's traffic and eventually across borders. The total security failure at Ecobank didn't just expose weaknesses in Zimbabwe's banking systems, it revealed a vast criminal network that crossed borders. The cross-border criminal network. When $4.4 million vanishes from a bank, where does it go? For most criminals, hiding such a massive sum would be nearly impossible, but for the architects of Zimbabwe's largest cash heist, international borders offered both an escape route and a shield from justice. This wasn't a local smash-and-grab operation, it was the work of professionals with resources that span countries. Borders create a protective maze for sophisticated criminals. Within hours of the Ecobank robbery, the suspects likely crossed into South Africa, leaving Zimbabwean authorities scrambling to coordinate with international partners. This pattern of striking and retreating across borders forms the backbone of their criminal strategy. Police investigations have identified Elijah Vambunu, known as Mapositori, as a likely suspect, and one of Zimbabwe's 7 most wanted fugitives. Alongside him are David Sawadye, Israel Zulu, Kadakwashe Matsingwa, Umbro, Takafa Vambunu, alias Nyson Mahembe, Paul Chinake, and Brian Marape. Together, they operate as part of a sophisticated cross-border gang based primarily in South Africa. Their approach transforms local crimes into complex multinational investigations, exploiting jurisdictional challenges that create precious delays for their escape. Zimbabwe authorities recognized this international dimension immediately, engaging Interpol and South African police in a coordinated manhunt. The swift mobilization of international resources indicates how seriously authorities view this criminal network. Their criminal portfolio extends beyond banking institutions. In 2022, the same group ambushed a How Mine convoy near Bulawayo, stealing nearly 12 kilograms of gold valued at $675,000. This operation demonstrated both their ambition and willingness to use force. Financial institutions, cash-in-transit vehicles, wholesalers, and grocery stores across Zimbabwe have fallen victim to their systematic approach. In Bulawayo alone, they conducted 5 separate raids within 4 months, stealing over $858,000 and 508,000 rand in combined currency, a testament to their methodical targeting strategy. Their trademark technique, using stolen license plates, creates critical confusion during investigations. By placing Mazda Daimio plates on their Ford Ranger during the Ecobank robbery, they sent police searching for the wrong vehicle while making their escape. The military precision of their operations stands out in every detail. The 149-second time frame of the Ecobank robbery, clear role assignments, and disciplined execution suggest backgrounds in security forces or specialized training. Each member moves with purpose, demonstrating a level of professionalism rarely seen in standard robbery cases. Family connections strengthen their operational security. Elijah Vambunu works alongside his brothers Abraham and Tonderai, creating a criminal network partially built on family ties that reduces the risk of infiltration or betrayal. Police have expressed confidence, saying, quote, "It is only a matter of time before the culprits are arrested," end quote. But each passing day complicates the investigation as evidence grows colder and the stolen money moves through multiple channels across multiple countries. These 6 masked suspects represent a dangerous evolution in cross-border crime. Their operations demonstrate planning, discipline, and intimate knowledge of both security systems and law enforcement limitations. They've transformed national borders into strategic advantages that complicate investigations and prosecution. Conclusion. As of early 2025, the $4.4 million remains missing. Despite Interpol's involvement and collaboration with South African authorities, no arrests have been made. The Zimbabwe Republic Police continues its investigation, but the trail grows colder with each passing day. Banks across Zimbabwe face a stark reality. Their security systems have become Maginot Lines against modern criminal networks. The fortress walls meant to protect have become mere hurdles for those who know where to look. Will anyone ever recover the stolen millions? Perhaps, but a more unsettling question looms. When will the next vault fall? The criminals are watching, learning, adapting, while time runs out.